What is happening, people? Welcome back to the show. Thought I'd get Kaz and Henry back on. We are going to have Lee Gunner. He's going to be joining us, but he's on his stream just finishing up, so he'll be with us ASAP. There's a lot to talk about, considering there's been no football and it's been internationals. It seems that there is enough for us to get stuck into today. Before I let Henry rip into his club and rant, which I can't lie, I'm looking forward to. Make sure you do us all a favor. Make sure you smash a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe. Head over to Henry Wright TV. Do exactly the same thing. He's going to be live at 7 tonight with him and Lee Gunner. Talking usually as they do. Make sure you head over to Kaz, follow him on socials, and Never a Foul podcast. Listen, people, let's talk Conte. Henry, I'm not even going to ask you a question, man. Just the mic is yours. Let rip and talk to me about how you're feeling right now as a Spurs fan.
Well, the biggest, listen, big up everyone first, big up Cass and New Pots, but the biggest circus in London is now open once again. That is, let me just, well, there's one stat that is the most Spursiest stat of all, right? Do you know the last time a Tottenham manager completed a full season?
Go on.
Do you know it? It was 4 seasons ago. We haven't had a manager come in and complete a full season in nearly 4 years. Like, it's beyond like insanity now. Like we were just talking backstage a minute ago about Nagelsmann. If he comes in, Luis Enrique, if he comes in, Poch, De Zerbi. Like we wanted Trossard at Brighton for what, 18, 20 million or 25 million. We're not going to go and pay 15 million for a manager. It's never ever going to happen. The problem we've always got, and the problem that why we'll always be a circus, is because whoever the manager is going to be, we've had 2 serial winners who combined have won more trophies than Guardiola, combined have won more trophies than Alex Ferguson, right, in those 2 managers. What's the common denominator? They won absolutely nothing, because whoever the manager is going to be, at the end of the day, you are working under Levy. Like, we bring Nagelsmann in, and I want Nagelsmann to come in. I think he's a good manager. But the problem is, Nagelsmann likes a project. He wants to, like he had at Hoffenheim, like he had at Leipzig. He wants to come in and completely change the ethos and the culture of the football club, but that's not going to happen. Like, I was talking to Sav earlier, and he's at the belief now that what is the point of actually keeping Harry Kane and Heung-min Son at this football club? Because they're never going to win anything. Like Cristiano Romero, he's only got an opportunity to win a trophy now when he plays for Argentina. You win the FA Cup, you get £2 million. You win the League Cup, Cass will know, you get, 500,000, something like that. If you're an accountant, you don't care about that, bro. You care about money, which is why top 4. And then they sacked Conte last night. Have you ever seen a football club sack a manager at 10:15 on a Sunday night? Like, it's just, I've never seen anything like it. We haven't got an idea what we're doing. Like, there's no, honestly, there is no idea what we're doing. Like, it's actually now to the point of where I would just, like, everyone's just falling out of love with the football club. Like, last year, we finished above your lot. We finished above Man United, right? Man United were in absolute turmoil for them. Now, with a manager of a bit of investment, he's got across his ethos. And everyone's saying, why don't we bring Nagelsmann in? No right manager in the world is going to come in and touch this shit show halfway through a season. United brought Ten Hag in. They appointed him 3 months in advance as they're coming in the summer. You've got to be on some seriously strong substances coming in right now and touch us. And when Kane goes in the summer, like apparently Sky Sports was saying earlier that he's not happy to sign a new contract. So there you go. That means he's got a year left in the summer. And when Heung-min Son goes, there goes 30% of our fan base. So then, what is life like at Tottenham after Harry Kane? Because when we sold Bale, we called life that Kane was in the academy and that we kept him. Nowadays, like Potts, I don't know what the future's going to be like. We bring in Nagelsmann, yeah, we'll play some good football, but we're never actually going to win something.
But if you bring in Nagelsmann, right, and this is serious, because like I really like Nagelsmann, what he's done. Big up Lee, by the way. I really like Nagelsmann. I think what he did at Leipzig was great. And actually, to be fair to him, I think he's only lost a couple of games at Bayern since Christmas. He's a point off top, and they've got rid of him. It's just the way the club are, right? But when you look at it, I honestly believe, Henry, even if you get Nagelsmann, you're still screwed because you've tried everything, mate. You've tried Poch, project manager. You've
So
tried
what's the common
Mourinho.
denominator here? What's the common denominator? We've brought in two of the most, not the, but one of the most successful managers in the last 30 years in Jose Mourinho. We got to a cup final where we had the opportunity to go and win. Whether we would have beat Man City or not is a different story. You know, sometimes if it was at our home ground, we probably would have won the League Cup. Why sack a manager, right, 6 days before a cup final? Because it was written into Jose's contract that if he would have won a major honour at Tottenham, it would have been like a 10 to 15 million pound bonus, right? And the problem is, and Lee will agree with this, the further we go away from top four, Levy pulls the trigger all the time because he sees pound signs. The only reason he's pulled the trigger this time, right, is because Conte's gone out and gone absolutely mad and we draw to Southampton, right? And he said a lot of untruths that a lot of the fan base didn't want to hear. And because he didn't say it in a kind manner, he said he's never experienced this in our career. Our fan base has gone into meltdown. The problem is our fans, and I'm not saying our fans are the problem, but the only time we've protested in the last 15 years was for the Super League. That's the only time. Your lot stormed Old Trafford, Cass. Your lot Potts were going absolutely mad when they wanted Wenger out. Our lot don't know how to protest. We've got some little wannabe Ed Sheeran singing about how Pedro Porro's getting hold of João Felix misses. And I hear, let's all laugh at Chelsea. Let's all laugh at Chelsea. Why? Because they're having one bad season. We're talking about the most successful team the last 20 years in this country. Us having the audacity to laugh at them. That's like
your fan base, mate. You're a deluded bunch, aren't you?
You know what the maddest thing is?
Yeah. Finished. Go on,
Nagelsmann has gone from. So he found out on Twitter that he's getting sacked. And then
imagine that.
The very next day, he had to go into Bayern Munich's training complex or whatever, and then officially get sacked. Then his wife dumped him, and then now he's linked with Tottenham. How can life not get any worse?
How can you go from Bayern Munich, by the way, Bayern Munich to Tottenham? Now that is the biggest downgrade of all time.
You wanted Tuchel. Why would he go from Dortmund, Chelsea?
The only difference is Tuchel has got like some sort of family connection to London where his kids go to school. So it makes sense for him to stay there. And he went, fuck that. The kids can stay at home. And he went to Germany. he went to Germany. The problem is, it doesn't matter who we get. Tuchel, Nagelsmann, Conte, Jose, Poch, Luis Enrique, De Zerbi. The football style might change, right? We might actually start playing champagne football again. But when it comes down to it, top four is more of a trophy for Tottenham than any trophy ever will be. And that is all they care about. The season ticket price is going up by 4%. Look at this shit show we have just seen this season. How can you justify that? If we're the one in Europa League,
do you get a free lap of the go-kart?
I'll tell you what,
as well.
You get 4% though off Lady Gaga tickets. That's what you get. Club's an absolute disgrace.
It's being run as a business and a tourism place now, isn't it? That ground. It's not actually to play football in there, is it?
Exactly.
Like, do you want to play football? Well, we'll leave that till last of football. Let's get AJ in there first and get the go-kart going and all this stuff. It's like, what an embarrassment of a club.
Everything's going on apart from the football. The stadium basically prints £2 million every single weekend. It prints it. Now you got F1 deal. Do you know how much that F1 deal is going to earn Tottenham over 20 years? £1 billion. That's just F1. That's about rugby, NFL, Lady Gaga, WizKid, AJ, Tyson Fury, UFC London. WrestleMania is going to be in the UK in 5 years. What stadium is it going to be at? Shakira. Fucking every artist, his idea is for Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to be the capital of England for all of entertainment. The football, just a little insurance policy on the side that will print money and eventually it will run it into the ground. And unless anyone comes in with a stupid bid of 4, 5, 6, 7 billion, which we all know ain't going to happen anytime soon, then nothing's going to change.
Mate, we've had Coldplay and the Killers, and that's in 16 years. I think that's about it at the Emirates.
Hey, well,
no one wants to come and sing at our ground.
Coldplay's legendary. They don't even tour.
Yeah, Coldplay quality, to be fair. But listen, Gunnar, I'll come to you, man. Like, I mean, me and you were laughing and smiling throughout the whole of that rant because it's just hilarious. But like, me and you were fans of Conte, and I must admit, he's got to take some of the blame. But I can't even lie to you. I was absolutely loving his press conference, mate. Absolutely class, man. What's your thoughts on all this, man?
He was spitting facts. And Tottenham fans that are, excuse me, that are saying, jumping around, loving life, that he's been sacked. Yeah, great, cool, fantastic, well done. Yeah, well done. Yeah, he has to take some of the blame. And that was the only thing that I noticed in that 9 minutes of meltdown, really, that he didn't blame anything himself. I didn't take any of the blame, sorry. But at the same time, he only got an 18-month contract. They haven't offered him a new one. So he's probably thinking, well, they ain't showing no commitment to me. They've not, like, people are saying on paper he spent 200 odd million. Well, he didn't, because Romero's deal was done, and then they activated the 50
I think
mil.
he spent 115.
115, and out of that 115, half of that was on the pigeon. Right, let's be real. Yeah, and another 16 mil was on a right back he never wanted.
The only player I think he brought in who I think he should have improved was Bissouma.
Yeah, I'd go with that as well, because Bentancur and Kulusevski, they've been fairly quality. I can't lie. You can tell they've got quality. Yeah, but other than that, what has he actually had? And Levy's never shown any faith in him. He only went there because it was a case of, well, I'll just keep going for now until
a quick payday.
I want. Yeah, and people are saying that he wanted to get sacked. That's why he did the meltdown. He didn't want to get sacked. He couldn't care less. He's a multi-millionaire. Yeah, that's got more money than he knows what to do with. And he just wanted to stay in work. Like, and the thing is, when you look at the jobs that are available this summer, Real Madrid's available. Atleti's available this summer. Yeah, there's going to be other
as well.
Premier League available. Yeah, Juve will be available. Inter might be available. There's some big football clubs available this summer, and there's some managers that are floating around, just positioning themselves. The funny thing is now Tottenham fans are gassed that the hipster from Germany, oh, let's sign Nagelsmann. What's he going to do? He's useless. Like, and I've seen another. Me and Henry have had this debate already, because I put out on my Insta, yeah, what he's absolute crap, and they're all getting gassed. And you was like, he ain't crap, bro. He got. I don't
think he's a crap manager. No, I just think Bayern Munich standards compared to Tottenham standards, two different things.
Right? You said to me the other day, oh, he's won 8 out of 8 in the Champions League. Yeah, well done. He also lost in the Champions League to Villarreal, who qualified for it by winning the Europa League against Arsenal and Man United. Yeah, and then had Coquelin and Capoue in midfield.
And Giovanni Lo Celso.
Lo Celso.
I don't like the way he plays football. His tactics are awful.
His tactics, you're right, you're spot on, right? And this is the thing with his tactics. Sorry, I was going to say, this is the thing with his tactics. He's got so many different formations, and he changes his formation 5 times in a game, right? So the players are like, well, what are we doing here? Then you've upset Neuer, you've upset Müller, yeah, you've upset the hierarchy. You've lost 5 games out of 10 that you've played this season in the Bundesliga. In all competitions since January, he's lost 5 games. If you actually look at the style of play they had last season, he took Bayern backwards. Yeah, but the league is so crap that he ended up winning it, right? And what it is, listen, you could put a chimpanzee in the chair at Bayern Munich and they would win the league. Yeah, they can manage.
He still went 8 out of 8 in the Champions League. He went from Lewandowski to
Shamak held a record in the Champions League, scoring 6 straight away Champions League games. Messi and Ronaldo never had that. And that was in prime Messi and Ronaldo. Shamak held that record. Every dog has their day.
If you can emulate what he did at Leipzig, at Tottenham,
and Hoffenheim, he doesn't get enough credit.
Because he was there in the under 19s. I know that, but that was the under 19s.
That's our sort of level, though. We're Hoffenheim.
But this is the point, lads. Yeah, that is his level.
Yeah,
and because
that's us, Lee. That's where we are.
Manager, and he was 33 when he got the Bayern job, and he was playing upside down Christmas tree formations and inverted this and inverted that. 2 number 10s, 2 number 7s, 2 number. Who gives a shit? Yeah, the fact and reality is he's not very good. Yeah, and he's going to come to Tottenham if he gets the job, and you lot are going to get gassed because you'll go and slap Burnley or someone 7-0 next season. Then you'll beat some other crap team like
I don't think we'll beat Burnley. I'm not going to lie.
Or West Brom or someone. You'll go whoever else, or Luton if they come up. You'll go and pam them 6-0. Yeah, but then ultimately you're going to have a couple of massive defeats next season if he's your manager. And it'll be, oh, but it's a process. It's a project. It took Arteta 4 years. It took Klopp 4 years.
That's exactly what's coming.
Yeah? And it's going to lower the standards. The fact is, your football club, it doesn't matter what manager. You could go and get Pep Guardiola this summer, yeah, and you still won't win nothing. Because the mentality of the players, the fans, not all of them, but a lot of them, and the ownership, they're all comfortable. I see a clip doing the rounds the other day, and it was somebody in a Tottenham shirt. Yeah, I don't think he was a Tottenham, but he was just interviewing Eric Dyer. I don't know how old this video is. Yeah, and he was saying, yeah, but Tottenham don't win anything. The lad was standing in a Tottenham shirt with the mic.
That's from Barstool. That's Dave Portnoy saying, "Oh, we don't win anything," and then he laughs. But
he started laughing and going, yeah, that's right, we don't. This is your centre back that has been there for years.
Yeah, but how does that mentality change from the top? It has to from the top.
No, do you know how that mentality changes? Yeah, I'll tell you 2 or 3 reasons ways how you can change that. Yeah, number one, you go and get a horrible, nasty bastard. Yeah, like Simeone, throw as much money as you can at the geezer, right? And Levy has to go, right, we're going to sacrifice pretty football. Your fans will not do that because your fans want free-flowing, pretty patterns that don't win nothing under Poch, right? That's what you want. You've got to get a manager in there that upsets everybody and says, right, Kane, you're playing shit, mate. You're on the bench next week. Yeah. Oh, but we can't do that. He's Harry Kane. Oh, Kane. Yeah. Son, you've scored 1 goal in 23 starts this season. Bench. Yeah. Richarlison, you're up front, mate. And I'm going to put you on the left wing. Your fans can't stand Lucas Moura. Mate, he's won 5 trophies less than your whole club.
He's won more trophies in our club, Lee. He's won more trophies. If you look at major honours, he's more decorated than Thierry Henry.
Well, there you go. And you lot can't stand him.
You said, Lee, that's what it's the favoritism's got to die off. This is what I mean. Eric Ten Hag done that. Dead off all the favorites. You got to prove to me why you're going to be my favorite, not just the favorites from the club. That's exactly what he did. Maguire done. Bruno at a point it was unskeptical about captains and stuff, but he proved himself. Obviously, Rashford at the start wasn't getting much. There's loads of players I can pretty much mention. That's
Luke
what
Shaw's another one.
Luke Shaw overrated anyways, but flipping. He's doing well. He's having a very good season, but
he weren't playing at the beginning, and that's your point, isn't it? He weren't playing at the beginning.
Malaysia, wasn't he? Or Malaysia.
Yeah, but the problem is, whoever we bring in, Levy overall has the final say. So unless our fans actually do a proper protest, none of this Mickey Mouse, Ed Sheeran crap outside the ground where you're protesting yet you're holding a bag of merch. None of this crap. I'm talking. What'd you say?
Protests don't work.
No. I think if you get enough people down there, they do.
It will never work. It's gone so global, the fans and everything. If you get out your seats, guess what now? The fancy new stadium, the fancy new F1. Now you're going to realize what us Man United fans go through. Don't matter if you don't get your seat. Someone from over abroad will pay double that price and go get that seat.
Dan and Cash, you both go to games. Henry, I know you do as well, yeah? You get done for persistent standing. You get your season ticket taken away. Yeah, unless you're in the North Bank lower and they don't give a shit. They just let you stand up, right? But any other part of that stadium, if you stand up and you get told by a steward, sorry, can you sit down, please? Then again, you get, can you sit down, please? 2 strikes, and then they come with a little piece of paper, yeah, and take your season ticket off you there and then and eject you. And you're right. There's now 100, 200,000 people waiting for your ticket. Protests can work. The problem is you need a dirty, stinkhouse, shithouse manager in there and sacrifice everything and just go and get over the line and win something. Yeah. And all of this young hipster manager, great style of play, that's all fantastic. Great. Cool. If you're Brighton, yeah, or Brentford, yeah. But if you want to go and actually win and achieve something rather than just sit in mid-table.
That's the thing. They don't want to go and win.
He said it
there. You go. Well, you're done then. Until that ownership goes, you might as well.
They just want to hit top 4 so they can get the money, so they can. Do you remember when we had the only team in London to watch fucking Champions League, and we only played 1 game in it because they fucked our stadium up? That's the sort of ownership we've got.
That's what works. We'll leave you out saying boycotting hurts the pockets. That's what works.
Dan, you'll know this. When we got Wenger out eventually, right? And I do believe he got sacked. He got told you're leaving or we're sacking you.
Agreed.
Right. That stadium was empty every week, wasn't it?
And then everyone said it was because of the snow. Do you remember? And it weren't. It was
when we played Man City after we lost the cup final.
Our fans aren't like that though. It's too like I see a Spurs fan the other day. I think I sent it to you, Lee. It's like this is what this stadium is made for, and it's at a Lady Gaga concert. And I'm like, come on now.
If you know what it is, I think you just got to realize. I think you realize potentially. No, you do realize, Henry. You just
more than realize that
you just got to become the team that is annoying, like the Leipzig in the Bundesliga. You got to become the team that is just. I don't want to go to that ground. How many grounds do we call this? I don't want to go to that.
We want to be Brentford.
Newcastle's perfect. I don't want to go to St James's Park, mate. I really don't. It's going to be a long day.
But how do you do that, Cash? You get a dirty shithouse manager in there. Yeah, and just go away from this hipster mentality of we have to play great attacking football at Tottenham. Just go and get a stinkhouse in there. If I was a Tottenham fan, I would not want Nagelsmann anywhere near my club. I would not want De Zerbi. Yeah, I would not want the lad from Sporting Lisbon. Yeah, I would not want any type Thomas Frank. None of them managers. I'd be sitting there in mass as fan base online, all saying, "Get me Simeone." Yeah, get me Simeone. Get me a Carlo Ancelotti. Get me somebody like that. Maybe more potentially Simeone, but I'd be going.
We're never going to pay him
Simeone,
like the 30
pay him
million a
40
year he
million
gets,
a
though.
year, because that 40 million a year over 3 years is 120. That is better than the 120 that you're going to spend on your players. That ain't going to do nothing.
Do you
Because
not
that
think though,
manager
Lee, that
will
like
take them further.
they have to they're like win now managers? I'm with you, Ancelotti, Simeone. That's what I wanted before Emery, even right after Wenger. But they're only win now managers if they've got the players that can the tools. And I feel, as much as I think he'd be brilliant, Simeone at Tottenham, they need a couple of centre backs that are better than Sanchez, Dyer, and all those absolute clowns. Otherwise, it's going to be the
Oh my
same.
God, sorry, 2
Conte,
seconds.
that's all right, Henry. Conte was the same. He was like, look, I can't win games with these clowns at the back. They're making mistakes all the time. So I do think that they need to back whoever they're going. And I just don't think they're going to.
I said Ruben
Go on,
Amorim, Ruben Amorim, because the fans do deserve better football. I believe that, and I think he's got a good project with young players. He can do something there. Like, he can really help their academy out, I think, as well, which would benefit them. And another one, I said De Zerbi. I think De Zerbi, but I think that could be a hit and miss. Graham Potter, you just never know, innit? Last one I'm going to say, because they like to fork out money for managers. He built the project at Atletico Madrid in 2008. Roughly, I think it was that time. He built it the way he wanted to build it. And he didn't have the most money in the world either. He sacrificed his best players when needed to. Diego Simeone. If you really want to become a winner, that man, I think he can build a project of being that team. I don't want to go there, man. I will shit.
And not only that, he would turn fucking water into wine, bro. Look at some of the players he's had that you think, wow, how the fuck's he? How's he a baller? Yeah. Like what he's done with Atleti, right? And I've been lucky enough to go to their stadium. Yeah, sadly we lost that game. Diego Costa 1-0. Yeah, Europa League semi.
Remember that.
But I remember speaking to the Atleti fans. They worship him, mate. They don't give a shit about style of play, because he took them from being just an average team in Spain when Madrid and Barca are gone of everybody into forcing them into a conversation every season for a decade or more and winning.
Do you think he'd go Spurs, though, Lee? I don't think he'd go.
2 reasons why he wouldn't go Spurs. One, no, I don't think any top manager right now is going to work under the ownership. And 2, like Lee said, the money it's going to be to bring this guy in, I can't. Levy's never going to pay that. Like, I hear what you're saying. It would save us a lot of money in the end, but
paid 50 million for Conte, though.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is the idea of Conte is to bring in a win now manager, but the squad ain't ready. And then we didn't want to back him with the players he wanted, because he wanted like Bastoni. We brought in fucking Longley or Longstop.
Yeah, but Henry, I think Simeone is light years clear of Conte. I like Conte.
Yeah, he is, but he'd need 3 to 5 year plan on this is what we want to do. These are the players we want to bring through. Levy don't care about that. If you ain't getting top 4, you're out the door.
Start by selling Harry Kane for 100 million and go from there.
Exactly.
Remember,
we tried that.
You know what?
We tried
That's
that
the sort of shit that needs to happen at that club.
A lot of the players, Simeone inherited were a lot of academy players. He made a lot of players what they are. This is what I'm saying. He might be. The thing is with Simeone, he plays rubbish football, but he's not harsh with players. He's real. Like, he's real. And the thing is, I think he's got good management skills where Conte doesn't. That's what makes it. That's why the club and fans buy into his. No matter how rubbish the football is, just get the W, get us another title.
I don't even know that the football is always that rubbish either. I think it's a little bit harsh, because I've seen them play some wicked football.
Griezmann era. 2017,
yeah,
Jimenez,
that era was unreal, mate. Look at the forwards they've had under Simeone as well, by the way. Unbelievable. Atletico Madrid in general have had like Falcao, Torres, Costa, Sergio Aguero, Luis Suarez. I'm saying all these players that are looking at it, I'm thinking fair play. Let me throw a spanner in the works, right? This is a massive spanner. I'm going to ask all three of you this. I'll start with Kaz, right? So, no, I'm not talking about manager now. Tottenham, top 4. Tottenham don't win anything. Same thing this season. They're going for top 4, don't win anything. I asked this question and Toes wasn't having any of it. He was like, I hate that narrative. It's not that. It's not that. Put Arsenal 8th in this league right now. Would Spurs be in a crisis with their fan base? I don't think they would be, because they're frustrated that they're out of the cups, but that happens every year. If Arsenal aren't first and top of this table, There is not this crisis. I can promise you this now. If Arsenal were in 8th place, like they have been 8th, 8th, and 5th, Tottenham fans would be going, we're
Yeah,
4th
you're
and
right.
they're 8th.
You're right.
Conte's brilliant. He's going to get us top 4 and Arteta's not. Any fucking money. Kaz, your thoughts before I come to Henry and Lee?
I think it's you're not speaking wrong, but I think there's a big section of the fan base now that don't actually care about that as much. Like the whole bit of finished above Arsenal, there'll always be that because even with me, Liverpool, you think I'm not going to ban Liverpool this year if we finish above them. It's going to happen regardless. But no, that's just mentality of the Tottenham Football Club. That's their trophy because that's what you're used to. But I think a lot of the other fans, from what I read online now or just hear in general, they're generally just fed up. Like just generally just fed up overall. Like they said, it's enough. It's enough. It's not 2010 no more. You got money. You know, you've got a good, nice, shiny stadium. Time to move on a little bit. That's the way I look at it. But Toby's no. It's weird with Toby, isn't it? You just don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. But pause. But nah, you're right though. But I think 90% you're right. I think 10% is growing though. That they've just had enough.
Do you know what? Like the reason I say this, and I'll come to Henry and Lee on this, right, is Pochettino was loved at Spurs. And I know he was shocking it towards the end and he went and all that kind of stuff. He was shocking at Spurs, but done basically what Conte's done. But they all want him back and say he's great. He got top 4. He didn't win a trophy.
There's
Okay,
one
granted,
difference,
he got
though.
into a
One
Champions
difference.
League final. Okay, I'll just let me land because I'm kind of, it's kind of a devil's avocado question, if you get me. Because I think Conte kind of had to go and it was just toxic, etc. But my point is this: Arsenal are flying, Tottenham hate it. I don't care whether you want to say that you're not obsessed with Arsenal or that you are. You hate the fact that we're flying high, right? If you do like it, then you're not a Tottenham fan, right? You absolutely hate it, right? That's just facts. And I would if Tottenham were flying at the top. If you were in the FA Cup still, meaning that you've beaten Sheffield United and Blackburn, Tottenham fans would be fine. So for the sake of 2 games, there's all this madness, crisis. Oh my God, it's awful. But if you were still in the FA Cup, everything would be calm. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, Henry.
The problem is like, as I said to you backstage, we are Arsenal from wish.com. Everything you do, we try and do 2 or 3 years later. You had the stadium, you had the Champions League, we did that. You are absolutely categorically spot on. And Tobes will probably disagree, but if you guys were 7th or 8th and we're singing, oh, enjoy your Thursday nights, we're in the Champions League, not a single Spurs fan would give a shit. It's just convenient that we are in yet again another absolute shit show, but you're top of the league. Now, you are top of the league for a reason. You've played probably the best football this year, right? You've got, in my opinion, the best right winger in the world at the moment. And I saw him play for England. Saka is a different level, mate, right? Everything you've got going at the moment is hitting green ticks. With us, it's just constantly red X's, mate. One of the issues is, right, nothing that we do will ever be as big as Arsenal. And our fans can't accept that deep down, real deep down in their core, that we are categorically obsessed with them and we are just a little brother. And I'll admit that, right? Because I'm not a flipping...
That hurt, innit? That hurt, Henry, innit?
No, it doesn't hurt. Lee will tell you, we've been doing the show for over a year and I've said this many a time. The issue, it hurts a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But we have to accept that our fans are accepted of Arsenal, and Lee will probably agree that Arsenal fans are also obsessed with Tottenham because they say we're irrelevant, all of this, but they can't stop talking about us. Lee's not, but most Arsenal fans are. Like the day we sat Conte, Igao and all that's tweeting about Tottenham. Who cares? You're winning the league. Who cares?
That's
Why?
true. That's very true, by the way. That's true. Yeah, vice versa from Dan. What you said, a lot of Arsenal fans do still look.
Mate, and that's
not Potts and
that is facts.
I do the same because I love it. Because you thought you could bring yourself into the big boy conversation, so let's do it then. Now Newcastle fans coming out the woodworks again somehow.
It's not even the fact that it's not even that for me. It's just like I actually agree with you, Kaz and Henry, that there are some Arsenal fans that seem to have this weird obsession with Tottenham when I've never really seen them as our rivals. Geographically, they are. But for me, Man United are much more rivals, and even Chelsea of the last 10, 15 because of what they've won. Tottenham have never really won anything in my lifetime anyway that's been significant. 1 FA Cup and 2 League Cups is what I've seen them win in my lifetime. So I think that's fair. But Lee, I wanted to get your opinion on this because for me, they've basically tried to replicate our last 10 years, which has been probably the most unsuccessful period in Arsenal's history and my lifestyle. And now what they're going to do is try and get a Mikel Arteta type manager, like potentially Carrick or company being looked at, Nagelsmann as well, younger, try to do a project again. Like, sounds like they're trying to replicate more of what Arsenal are doing, man.
Alone,
no, listen, I'm not slagging off company or
No,
Carrick.
not
I
you,
think
not
they'll
you.
go
I'm
on to
talking
do
about
great
Tottenham.
things.
Please leave him alone.
But-
Let him do his thing. That's the
Yeah.
that's the future. Just leave him be.
Well, there we go, man. Gunner, go on, bruv.
They've got the best stadium in Europe, and if it ain't, it's one of the best. They've got the income to be a big club because they got more revenue income than we have. Yeah, and that's proof. Fact, it's on Forbes' website. Their income's higher than Arsenal's. In fact, it's millimeters behind Bayern Munich's, and they've mastered the art of making a fortune without competing. Yeah, and Daniel Levy is one smart businessman. Yeah, and for me, like if you look, yeah, I've said this before. If you finish bottom, you get about 100 million in parachute payments. If you win the cup double, League Cup and FA Cup, you win about 7 mil. Yeah, but if you qualify for Champions League, you could get in excess of 100 mil. Like if you go all the way to the final. Like with the knockout group stages, you get a win, a draw, a loss, you still get paid. Then you go around the 16 round knockout stage quarterfinal. You can make about 100 mil by not winning. So Daniel Levy's mastered the art of that. Do the bare minimum, and we'll make as much money as we can. We don't need to win a cup. Why? But I agree with what you said though. If Arsenal weren't top and Arsenal were below Tottenham, they wouldn't give a shit. Look at last season. We were battling with them for 4th place last season. And they finished above us, and they were the mouthiest team on the internet. Like more mouthy than any other club on the internet because they finished above Arsenal. You bottled it.
That's a trophy for us, though, Lee.
I don't think it's actually Levy's fault. I think Levy does put funds into your club and everything. I think there's.
Look at Henry's face.
So
no, I hear what you're saying, Katia.
Hear me out. No, it's not because Glazers don't give us money, by the way. So don't throw that. Glazers no, we earn our own money.
I wasn't even going to throw that. I wasn't going to throw that.
You generate your own money. See, I don't think it's the chairman's thing. I think it's more obviously the owner. I think it's more Paratici. Why I say that? He's your director of football, right?
No, not anymore. I don't know. He's supposed to be in court today, so probably not for much longer.
Hear me out then.
He's joined jail prison
Levy
FC,
obviously
mate.
employs all these people, but who actually looks over your scouting? Who actually
Levy looks over it. Levy looks over everything.
Because I thought that was
so Paratici's role.
The director of football's job is to be the communication between obviously the executives and also the manager, the in-between man. This is the way I look at it. I could be wrong, by the way, so I apologize if so. Levy just employs them. I don't think he actually looks at who's the best scouts. But I think that's Paratici's job.
That's on Levy then.
What's rubbish? Take that away, and Paratici's job is to go get better scouts. Go
The
get
problem is,
ones. I think it's Paratici. I think he's actually dog shit.
It's disgraceful. Bearing in mind, this was the guy that brought Nuno Espirito Santo to the club, Paratici. And Paratici's number one transfer target was Adama Traore, who's a juiced up Aaron Lennon. The problem is, Levy's the one employing these scouts and Paratici. Paratici will bring a good player to Levy. Like we wanted to sign, what is his name?
My bad if I got it wrong, but that's the way I look at it.
Who's the guy that you've just signed from Brighton? I can't remember what his name is.
Trossard.
Paratici said we need to go and sign Trossard, right? Paratici said he's a good player. He can play anywhere along the front line. He'd give us more strength. Levy went, okay. Levy goes and offers 15 million. 2 days later, Arsenal, 27 million. The problem is, Levy, we're not the club. We don't have the pool of an Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, and City.
You got Basuma for 25 million.
Yeah, but that was a release clause, though. Not a lot of people know about that.
It's still a good buy, though, man.
Yeah, but the problem, so then we bring him into a guy that's playing a 3-man midfield under Potter. The Conte looks at him for 5 minutes and goes, you know what? I'd rather Sartori. You're telling me the Conte's got to take accountability, right? Because losing to Sheffield United, Wolves, getting banged 4-1 by Leicester, he has got to be accountable for his actions. But at the same time, Levy is never given a manager the full tools to do the job. Under Pochettino, we finished runs up against Chelsea. That was one of the best 11s I'll probably ever see in my lifetime. We needed 1 or 2 more tools in that tool bag, and we probably would have won the league. But the difference is, in the FA Cup semi-final, we're playing Chelsea. We're bringing on Harry Winks. They're bringing on Matic. We're bringing on Nkadu. They're bringing on Hazard. Match winners. So you are
So
right.
this
Paratici is a
this all
complete
comes
fraud.
back to the ownership, yeah, and he employs all of them. The thing I will say is that if you get like Paratici's there, yeah, Paratici has got so many contacts in football that he could employ or get better players in and use his contacts.
Yeah,
Yeah, as much as I can't stand Edu, yeah, and for a long time Arteta until he started doing his job properly this season, right? Arteta got us Zinchenko and Jesus for a combined total of 75 mil. That's a bargain, mate. I remember Man United paid 70 odd mil for Lukaku. They paid 80 for Maguire. We've got two proven Premier League players that have won titles under the best manager in modern era. Yeah. And that's down to the manager's pool. Because if we didn't have that manager at Arsenal and he was at, say, Tottenham, Jesus and Zinchenko would be at Tottenham. Yeah, because they weren't welcome at Man City anymore. You could get them. Paratici has to take some of the blame. Conte has to take some of the blame. But ultimately, it comes back to Daniel Levy because Daniel Levy employs all these people. Joe Lewis don't even know what day it is. He don't even know what's going on at your stadium.
He's not even allowed in the
when
country.
The team's playing. He's probably got about 20 dolly birds on the yacht, all sipping champagne and doing madness. Yeah,
it's right. Harry said Man United only got Martinez because of Ten Hag. That's true.
Exactly, and this is my point. He and managers, technical directors, and you know these people, like owners, they have pull. The problem is
we ain't got no pull, mate.
No,
That's
you've
the
got
problem.
Conte, who was put on an 18-month contract. Yeah, the only player that that I genuinely think went there for Conte is Perisic.
Facts.
That's the only one because if you look at the age of the player, he's coming towards the end of his career. He's happy to play left wing back. Yeah. He's won loads in the game.
And he's going in the summer as well now.
But when you look at your owner put Conte on an 18-month contract, how are you expecting him in 18 months to suddenly miraculously turn your team around if your technical director now can't pull players in with his contacts? And if he can pull them in, they're going to go, yeah, but the manager's only there for 18 months.
Conte notoriously, though, he never... you can do the super chat if you want, Potts, but I was just going to say, he never...
Yeah, go on.
I say notoriously, he's not this project long-term manager. Like he was at Inter Milan for 12 months. He was at Chelsea 13, 14 months. He was at us just over a year. The only team he's actually been at for more than a season and a half is Juventus. And they gave him everything he wanted.
He was at Inter 2 years. And this is why when people say you can't overhaul the squad and do it all in one window, it's a project, it's a process, it's a load of bollocks. Because that year he got Inter to the Europa League final was his first season. He signed 17 players in that first window.
Yeah, look at the players though. Hakimi, Lukaku, Brozovic, Eriksson.
Yeah, but this is my Alexis Sanchez, I think, went there. Lukaku went there. Maybe Ashley Young was there. Eriksson was there. Yeah, exactly. But this is my point. Yeah, if you add up all of them 17 players, it didn't cost hundreds of millions of pounds. So you can do it. And then he got to the Europa League final against Lopetegui with Sevilla, who had signed 14 players. And when people say you can't do an overhaul the squad, bollocks, you can, because both of them got to the Europa League final in their first season with them teams that they overhauled. The following season, he adds a couple more and wins the league by a canter. Yeah, then they go, oh, sorry, mate, we have to sell to buy. And he was like, we'll see you later then. Because I've just won you your first league title in a decade. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now you're telling me I have to sell Hakimi and Lukaku. Nah, mate, see you later. And when you go to Tottenham and you're only given an 18-month contract, straight away that was iffy. Because it was like, Daniel Levy don't want you here, but he ain't got the manager he wants. Yeah, so we give it to him because he's won stuff. But
he'll get us top four.
Yeah, he'll get us top four. Yeah, you're talking about cup competitions. And I've seen loads of your fans saying, but we would have had a free run to the semi because we would have played Championship and League One teams. But at the same time, you then go and Conte has to take blame for this, goes and puts reserve teams out in them. Yeah, so then when you look at it, your technical director, sporting director, whatever he is, like you said, is in court today. Why? Money. Yeah. Your owner is only concerned about that. And the manager needs money. This all comes back to money, bro. And that club, your club, spends more money than my club and wins nothing. Why? Because you're only investing in money, yeah, and give a shit about money. So nobody cares. Your players don't.
You know the difference between Arsenal and Tottenham right now? Is you guys have got a plan. Whether you think it's right or not, you have a plan. We don't know our hand from our arsehole.
Do you know what you don't know? You're right, but do you know what the biggest difference between our two football clubs is? Yeah, we we expect to be successful, or a lot of us do. There's a lot of fans that just want top four, yeah, but they're the new school fans that ain't really seen us win much apart from cups, yeah. But the older ones that have seen us win league titles multiple times, yeah, we, like me, Dan, judges, other people like that, we expect to be in a title charge. We want to be in the conversation. So we will hold the club more accountable. Turkish is another one, doing protests and stuff like that. Kenny, Jez, loads of others, Northside, we're all in our mid to late 30s, early 40s, some of us in our 50s. And we expect a little bit more than just finishing top four, get Champions League, get pammed 5-1, get knocked out, get champion, do it all over again. And when you get a manager in there, yeah, that has played for the club, for me, I didn't ever want anyone that's played for this club, especially him, right? But you have to hold your hands up and say he's done fair play to him, mate, because the one thing he has done is he's got the ownership on his side. Yeah. And the amount of times that guy could have been and should have been sacked. Yeah, mate, I'd be here for an hour just doing a stream about how many times and listing the games he should have been sacked after. But one thing they've done is they've said, no, we're going to stick with him for now, and we're going to give him money, and we're going to spend the money on players that are going to help us. Jesus, Zinchenko, obviously Saliba, we'd already bought him before he'd come, but he's put him back in. Yeah, we've bought, what's his name? Thomas Partey under him. Gabriel Magalhaes, I think he's been our best centre-back this season, despite starting the season crap. Yeah, and the players that he's brought in for the first team, including Odegaard as well, I think he's been superb this season. Ben White's another one. Shit last season, in my opinion, but this season, best right back in the league. Yeah, and
I agree with that.
We've found a way of every single first team player he's put in there being an unbelievable buy when you look at it on paper. Whereas when you look at Tottenham, you're just relying on Harry Kane. Yeah, and hopefully Son will do it, and hopefully Kulusevski. And if we get this guy in, maybe Basuma, or well, maybe this guy, and maybe bro, ain't gonna work like that. And the thing is, like, I've been skeptical, Dan's been skeptical of Arteta, but we've only ever wanted to be in this position. Yeah, and now we're in this position. Dan, I'll watch you on AFTV. Yeah. You were the same as me. You wanted this manager gone a million times, mate. Yeah, you didn't believe in it, you didn't back it, you thought it was a load of crap. But every week we win, he shuts us up. And this is what we wanted, a title charge. And now it's down to the club to maintain that going forward next season. Yeah, we need 5, 6, 7 players in the summer to maintain a challenge for cups as well. Yeah, and if they don't do that, I'm going to be peed off. But not Arteta, Edu and the ownership. Yeah, because we've got ourselves in a great position. Even if we don't win the league this season, yeah, we have got a core of about 13, 14 players that are going to be here for a long time. Yeah, and you ain't got that at Tottenham.
Mate, I don't know what your future looks like, Henry. Before we move for the last few minutes of the show, what who do you want, Henry? Just give me a realistic name.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
You know, Wesley.
I think I know who's going to. I personally would take Nagelsmann or De Zerbi, but we all know deep down that Poch will probably come back.
That's who I think. Yeah, that's
who it's perfect sense. Half our fan base would be sitting there, you know, creaming their pants. He's magic, you know, Mauricio Pochettino. You know, like we beat Forest and they're singing his name while Conte's in the dugout. We win the game 3-0 and our fans are still singing about Poch. It's like the ex-girlfriend that you never wanted to break up with. That's what Pochettino is.
Thing is, with Poch, it's X for a reason, they say, innit? X for a reason.
Exactly.
So it might not work out, man. Kaz, what about you? Who do you think will go Tottenham next?
No, it's definitely Nagelsmann now. It's done, innit? I'm not being funny. You can't get too big for your boots. You did go from Leipzig to Bayern. Leipzig, Tottenham. Leipzig aren't a bigger club, are they? Let's be honest.
They've only been around for 10 years or something, haven't they? Like,
yeah,
10,
like
12 years.
Let's be fully honest on that part. Nagelsmann isn't too big for Tottenham. Go to Tottenham. But if it was me, I'd rather go for Ruben Amorim. That's my shout. But won't happen, will it? They need someone now.
Mate, it's going to be Nagelsmann or Poch for me, I think, personally. Yeah. That's what I think. Last little debate, Kaz, I'm going to stick with you for this one because it is about Tottenham and Arsenal. Obviously, England. I only want to touch on this because
Saka, right?
Saka and Kane, man. Saka and Kane at the moment are being talked about for different reasons, really. One that's been there, done it, keeps scoring for England. One that's up and coming and looks like he's going to absolutely kill it. So, as a Man United fan, who right now is England's best player? Is it Saka? Is it Kane? Or is it someone else?
That's a horrible question, by the way. Why is it?
Why I asked it.
Yeah, no, it's a horrible question. Saka, obviously, I think Saka goes down as one of the best players in the world right now. Like, let's be honest, top 3 in his positions, and he's not even a third. He's probably I don't know. Like you told me, all the right wingers that are currently about. Who's better than Saka?
It's facts. And do you know what I said last night, right, on DR? So I was with Lee, Ty, and Laurie, and I said, if you was to pick a front 3 in the world right now, I would go with Mbappe, Haaland, and Saka as my front 3. And I don't know that there's many others that can see. You can talk about Neymar, Vinicius Jr. I don't know that there's that many at the moment that would disagree with that front 3. I don't know about you.
He's smashing it.
It just
Yeah,
depends.
Osimhen is
No,
killing
I
it.
was on. Well, he is as well. But I was on
The other lad,
left
I
wing.
can't. I'm not going to butcher his name. I know who you mean, though.
Kvaratskhelia.
That's the one.
Just call him Cravadonna, mate. It's
He'll
easier.
flop in the Premier League, by the way. 100% that guy flop in the Premier League.
Yeah, you know what it is? I was thinking that he looks really good, like because he gets a lot of time as well. I think he's wicked though, but I don't know if he'll be suited. But the one thing like that makes me think that he could is that he's actually physical. Like he's got the balance of like Jack Wilshere. It's hard to knock him off the ball even when he dribbles. I'm like, okay, but is he going to be another Jack Wilshere though? Jack Wilshere will be doing that in the Serie A. Tell you that now for free. So
yeah,
I think he's wicked. Mbappe's obviously up there. His stats are crazy, quite similar to Rashford's at that. To be fair, and then obviously Haaland's just Haaland. Who's better than Saka? I'll be honest, it's crazy. Who's better than Saka right now on the right wing?
I don't think there's anybody.
There ain't one.
I really don't think there is. And the thing is, I asked that to you, Cass, because obviously me and Lee are going to big him up. Henry's going to try to do his best not to, but to be fair,
I've said it. Saka's clear.
I'm jealous.
Yeah,
and you need to
like that goal yesterday was just unreal.
Henry had the pleasure of witnessing that live as well. He was at Wembley yesterday.
By the way, this is how shameless we are. Just quickly, Cass. England fans are singing Zinchenko's name.
What?
Arsenal fans singing Zinchenko's name while we're playing Ukraine.
I wouldn't be singing for Ukraine.
Shameless, a lot of you.
Club over country,
I did find it
Club
funny
over
because
country.
somebody sent me a clip that when Harry Kane was doing his interview at the end of the game, they were all doing this little clap. Yeah, so you couldn't hear Harry Kane. It was hilarious. All the Ukrainians were clap. Like somebody sent me a little clip off TikTok. It was funny, man. But yeah,
Saka kind of basically scored the same goal against Man United. That's not normal.
That was a class goal.
I've just seen his goal now. I don't watch England under Southgate. I can't stand it. So
it was sick.
Imagine I've got to watch whoever the next manager is going to come in and Southgate. Well, the only release I've got is when I watch City play.
I've heard that you're linked also with the Nottingham Forest manager.
It's disgraceful. I'm not like. Yeah, we're going to be linked with every manager.
He looks like he's been on a mad weekend in IB for that fella, doesn't he? He looks like he's pilling off his nut.
Oh man!
I think for that level in the Championship, I think he's done well. But I wouldn't throw him in the Tottenham boss in the job. Sorry, Jesus.
But this is the problem you get when you hire a manager that's like doing okay or very well at a lesser club in terms of. And listen, Nottingham Forest are a massive football club. I mean, lesser in terms of what they're doing and where they've been and what they're doing now in the last 20 years. Yeah, like they've got a better European record than us, that's for sure. Right? But at the same time, like Nuno had this. Nuno was smashing it at Wolves. Yeah, this guy's doing all right at Nottingham Forest. You know, De Zerbi's done all right at some other clubs, but Potter done great at Brighton as well. But let's be real, when you add up what they've won, there's no trophies there, really, is there? Let's be real. And that is the difference that sets apart a decent manager coach and an elite or great coach. Yeah, is the fact that even with a small, lesser club, they'll go and bag a trophy. Yeah, look at Jose when he went to Roma. He had no right to win that. Yeah, they weren't a great team and he won the Conference League. Yeah, why? Because his mentality is, I'm going to win this. Yeah, I'm going to win this. If that was our clubs, all three of our clubs in that competition, well, we've never been in it, Cassie and Dan, yeah, but your club were in it and your club got kicked out of it.
I swear the stadium that time had a train going around it. Dele Alli pulled off a stinker. I think I remember it was.
Wait, I remember when they played FC Mora at White Hart Lane. There was.
I don't even want to think about it.
Ground. You can see pans to the away end. I counted them. There was 11. Like 11. Yeah, and do you know what's funny is they probably all lived in London. Yeah. Well, that's the result. Cheers. Yeah, but that's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference. But coming back to Saka, yeah, for me, Saka's unreal, mate. Like, and I've said we've been critical of him as well, Dan, at times, both of us, yeah, because at certain moments he had no composure last season. Yeah, and it was like you get into the box and he'd hold the ball a little bit too long, or he'd fall over, and But this season, even though he's not built in size, he's tough as an ox, mate. No,
he's getting better and better as well. It's scary what he's going to be like, mate. I look at him and Martinelli.
Is a joke. Like,
well, that's what he did last night. The way he does that, like last night's goal, he did it again. And I think, how do you do that? And when like players are predictable when they get on their 1 foot or whatever. There's like only certain. Like, I remember Iron Robin was unreal at. You knew where he was going to go, but he still did it every time. Mahrez, exactly the same. Right. Messi, Saka's doing that now. It's like crazy how good they are, man. It really is unbelievable. So, listen.
Do you think he's world class?
Yeah, he is.
I need to.
Saka, yeah.
No, you know what it is? People, I get it. This for me, like the world class stuff is like you can say what
I need a definition of world class, man.
So basically, for me, you can
get in any team on the planet.
Basically, yeah. See, world class.
You would right now.
It's like, do you possess world class qualities? That's one aspect. Okay, cool. Are you doing it in a world stage every year or whenever you're in it? Are you doing it there? Cool. Because Harry Kane is world class, but he hasn't won nothing. You get it? Like he's got world class. You can't tell me he's one of the best nines on the planet. So he's not world class. Same with Saka. Just because he ain't been in the Champions League, he hasn't been in the Champions League. A better definition is Martinelli world class? No, he's not. Not compared to Martinelli. Is he got world class qualities potentially? Yes, he does. Martinelli. Saka right now is doing everything. Well, I just said he's like not just because on form, not based off a season. He's been doing it for a few
3
seasons.
years.
He played at left back at one
season, 2 years before this one. 2 years straight before this one.
Guy's got everything. As a winger, he can play inverted, he can play on touch line, he can play flipping left back if you wanted him to, wing back if you wanted him to.
But play number 10, false 9, play everywhere.
Probably as well. The guy's just
if England build their team around you, Bellingham, Saka, Foden, Reece James, and a few others, we'd have a serious.
Dare I say one apparently might be coming back? I can't believe it, man.
Was that sorry?
Do you think he's world class, Dan?
So I have a real Henry will know this. I have a real debate about what that means.
Totally.
I don't know what the definition is of world class. No one's told me. No one can tell me what the definition of world class is. Is it a world 11? Is it the top 3 of their position? Is it would walk into any team in the world? Because for me, world class is like elite level, Messi, Ronaldo level. But people always say to me, no, that's best in the world. So no one can tell me what the definition of world class. If someone tells you what the definition of world class is, I'll let you know if I think Saka's that or not. But no one knows what world class means.
Henry, in the words of Terry,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's mad. And people go like, he is world class. He is world class. Harry Kane's world class. Saka's, everyone's world class now.
No, so for me, Dan, we've been blessed, that we've seen world class footballers, because we were born in that era where we've seen the best of the best,
Include me too, by the way. I'm not that young.
Yeah, well, there you go. You're looking all right, bro. Yeah, it must be sank in the water up in Manny.
Cream every day. Trust me, it works.
But we've been blessed that we've seen the Henrys, the Bergkamps, like the Batistutas, like the Robert, top players, man. Like Giggsy was world class. Yeah, that guy was a joke. Yeah, like even what's his name? I can't remember. Ribery, another one, world class. Yeah. Top players, Nedved and all of them, Pirlo's, they're world class for me, yeah. But the difference is football back then was a lot harder. The pitches were shit and there weren't all this technology back then, yeah. So now for me, like 30 years down the road, football's crap compared to then. Yeah, because now it's about systems. It don't matter if you're a good player, you just fit the right system. Yeah, Trent's the perfect example of that. Yeah, Adama Traore is a perfect example of that. This shit footballers.
Peak after 2010, peak 2000s, that's football, man.
Yeah, fact. But in this era, me personally, I think that world class is, can you get into a world 11 based on your season that you're on now and the season before and the season before? So a 3-year time period. For me, you also have to look at, have you progressed in them 3 years? Are your numbers there as well? Yeah. And would you literally walk into any 11 on the planet? And for me, because Saka's kind of ticking most of these boxes.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Lee. For me, I've always put world class as like ridiculous. Maybe I've overhyped what world class means. But if it was, can you walk into any 11 in the world and make them better? Then of course Saka's world class.
Does he walk into Real Madrid? He gets in for me.
I think he does. Yeah, him and Vinicius either side. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Does he get into Bayern? For me,
yeah, he does. Yeah,
Did he get into Man City over Mahrez? For me, right now, he does as well.
I was going to say, Lee, that's like,
I love Mahrez as well.
I'm in love with that guy.
Saka's getting into any team in the world right now, in my opinion. But so yeah, if that's the definition, then yeah, he is world class.
In the words of Terry Flewers, Henry, He's scary.
He's scary, and they are. Arsenal are scary. They scare people.
Oh.
But anyway, listen, we're gonna leave it there because I know we've got to shoot off now. But big up Henry, big up Kaz, big up Lee.
Big up.
Make sure you go over and sub to all these guys on their channels. Go over to Henry Wright TV right now because he's going live literally in a couple of minutes. Make sure you go to Never a Foul podcast, go to Lee Gunner, and
No,
please
don't go to Lee Gunner. Go to Lee
go
Reacts.
to that's it. Lee Reacts. Always forget that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
don't
bro.
don't worry about the Lee Gunner one. That'll do its own thing. Lee Reacts nearly on 9K. I'm less than 50 from 9K.
Well played, man. Well played. Make sure you do that. Also, get us up to 8K as quickly as you can. Smash that like and subscribe on this one. Do that on the way out, people. I'm going to be back tomorrow for something a little bit different with the Race for Europe group and everybody else. So we're going to see you then. Until then, next time, take care. Up the Arsenal.
Potter out.